Correcting the Gleason map to align with Yahuah's basket of the earth. The Gleason's map has been an indispensable tool when studying the biblical cosmology in the Book of Enoch and Jubilees. It has also allowed the user to consider how the map was manipulated by the enemy, that by turning the rings back and forth and laying down his own lines, it distorted time. Fortunately, through Enoch's observations in biblical scriptures, the correct measurement of time was able to be discerned and the map readjusted. The enemy had moved the longitudinal degrees and the military time of the two white inner rings counterclockwise to the left 2 hours and 45 minutes. Then the red ring was moved clockwise to the right another 2 hours and 45 minutes. Why was this done? It was to hide the true location of the sun and to obscure the original start time of the year, which is in Jerusalem. The correction was made according to Deuteronomy 11:12 and Enoch 72:4-6 and 72:32 and Genesis 1. Once the international date line and the true start time from Jerusalem was reset, more of Enoch was revealed. As often as I had studied the map, it wasn't until I labeled Roman numerals with Arabic numbers that I realized that 9/11 was embedded within the red ring. Simply put, they rolled the white portion of the map containing the continents forward 2 hours and 45 minutes and repeated the same procedure, only backwards with the red ring. 9/11 is all about time and how they manipulated it. Welcome to Yahuah's basket of the earth. From the first day of creation to the sixth day, Elohim proclaimed the day good 8 times in verses 4, 8, 10, 12, 18, 21, 25, and 31 of Genesis chapter 1. There is something very special about the word good. The word good is Tov, Strong's number 2896. The pictograph Tet is a picture of a basket used to contain or surround something. The Beit is a picture of a tent or house. Combined, these means surround the house. The house is surrounded by grace, beauty, love, health, and prosperity, something that is functional. What Father created for us is a house, the letter Beit, or the earth that is in perfect working order. Every time that he proclaimed that it was good, it meant that the house was functioning properly as he designed it. The letter Tet, which looks like a circle with an X inside, is the picture of the earth upon which we live. It is also called a basket, which when turned over covers us like the firmament. Nothing can get in and nothing can get out. It also represents the map according to Enoch and Jubilees. Another interesting note about the letter Tet is that it also illustrates the snake, which deceived Adam and Eve inside the house. Jerusalem is now the focal point where the start time begins according to Deuteronomy 11:12 and Psalm 19:5-6. Deuteronomy 11:12. A land which Yahuah thy Elohim careth for. The eyes of Yahuah thy Elohim are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. Psalm 19:5-6. Which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. Enoch confirms the first day of the year. Enoch 72:4-6. And first there goes forth the great luminary named the sun, and his circumference is like the circumference of the heaven, and he is quite filled with illuminating and heating fire. The chariot on which he ascends the wind drives, and the sun goes down from the heaven and returns through the north in order to reach the east, and is so guided that he comes to the appropriate portal and shines in the face of the heaven. In this way he rises in the first month in the great portal, which is the fourth, those 6 portals in the east. 2 Chronicles 7:16. For now have I chosen and sanctified this house, that my name be there forever, and mine eyes and mine heart shall be there perpetually. Jubilee 6:23 through 28. And on the first day of the first month, and on the first day of the fourth month, and on the first day of the seventh month, and on the first day of the 10th month are the days of remembrance, and the days of the seasons in the 4 divisions of the year. These are written and ordained as a testimony forever. And Noah ordained them for himself as feasts for the generations forever, so that they have become thereby a memorial unto him. And on the first day of the first month he was bidden to make for himself an ark. And on that day the earth became dry, and he opened the ark and saw the earth. And on the first day of the fourth month the mouths of the depths of the abysses beneath were closed. And on the first day of the 7th month all the mouths of the abysses of the earth were opened, and the waters began to descend into them. And on the first day of the 10th month the tops of the mountains were seen, and Noah was glad. And on this account he ordained them for himself as feasts for a memorial forever. And thus are they ordained. And they placed them on the heavenly tables. Each had 13 weeks from one to another past their memorial, from the first to the second, from the second to the third, and from the third to the fourth. Enoch describes the divisions of the earth. Enoch 77, 1 through 3. First quarter. And the first quarter is called the east, because it is first. Second quarter. And the second quarter the south, because the Most High will descend there. Yea, there in quite a special sense will he who is blessed forever descend. Third quarter. And the west quarter is named the diminished, because there all the luminaries of the heaven wane and go down. Fourth quarter. And the fourth quarter, named the north, is divided into 3 parts. The first of them is for the dwelling of men, and the second contains seas of waters, and the abysses, and the forests, and rivers, and darkness, and clouds, and the third part contains the garden of righteousness. Correcting the map. Tools and items needed to amend the Gleason's map. A Gleason's map any size. A ruler or any straight edge that will accommodate the length of the map. Scotch tape and or packing tape, scissors, a rotary cutter, or an X-Acto knife with a new blade inserted to prevent tearing, DMC floss or string of similar thickness, plastic dividers for constructing templates of the equinox, a brass button, a fine pointed Sharpie, a package of 1/2-inch orange dots, a piece of Kleenex to rub away the Sharpie marks on the plastic dividers. Step 1. Locate 9 in the red ring. The line that the yellow arrows are pointing to is the latitude upon which Israel sits. With your black Sharpie, make a small dot under the number 45, which I show in green. This will help guide this line to the correct placement under the time of 11:45, which is also marked with a green dot. Step 2. With a rotary cutter or scissors or an X-Acto knife, carefully cut along the edge of the inner ring all the way around. The arrows point to which ring to cut. Your map should look like this after you've cut it. Step 3. Very carefully line up the dots you marked on your map so that they are aligned. You will notice right away that the map is not a perfect circle, and so there will be gaps and overlaps in places. Make sure to align it to the best of your abilities. It will not be perfect, but will work for the purposes of future study. Once you are satisfied with the new placement, tape the map enough so that it doesn't move or come apart. Do this to the front and back side of the map. Though difficult to see, the back and the front have been taped just enough to keep the pieces together. The laminating process will seal all the gaps and protect the map. Before going to the next step, locate the small circle on the map. This small circle will be the next guide to align the map correctly. Once you've located the circle, go on to step 4. Step 4. Your map should look like this after you have adjusted and taped the sections together. The next cut is on the outside of the red ring. Again, using scissors or a rotary cutter or an X-Acto knife, carefully cut around the outer edge. Step 5. With a long ruler or straight edge, adjust the ring so that the lines match up to the ruler. Again, you will notice that the circle is not perfect, and there will be gaps and overlapping areas on the map. This cannot be avoided, but do your best to line up key areas of the map top to bottom, side to side. Once you're satisfied with the placement, tape it front and back. Step 6. Your map should look the same as this before it is permanently laminated. Carefully roll up your map and take it to the nearest Office Depot or Office Max to laminate the map. After laminating, it will be time to lay the lines. Step 7. With your DMC floss or string, locate midnight and noon and stretch the cord across the map. Tape it down. Repeat with morning and evening. Cut off the excess cord. Building the equinox template. Tools needed: ruler, pen, plastic divider, packing tape, X-Acto knife, rotary cutter, or scissors, a brass fastener, and a yellow dot. These are instructions for an 18 by 24 Gleason map. Larger maps will require 2 plastic dividers taped together. Step 8. Center the plastic divider over the map about a ½ inch or so over the cord that references midnight and noon. Lay the ruler or straight edge over the divider on top of the line. With a pen, draw a straight line to the center circle. Draw around the center circle and then continue the straight line to the opposite side of the divider. A close-up view of this is on the next slide. After drawing out the center line, draw the next line on the curve. With a pair of scissors, cut along the lines you just drew, but do not throw away the plastic. You will use the rest for finishing the edges of the equinox template. With the piece that was cut off, place the edge on top of the equinox template to lengthen it. Tape it together and then cut off what you don't need, and then repeat on the other side. With the leftover piece of divider plastic, cut a round circle and overlap the area circled in black. Then cut on the straight line indicated in the illustration to match the tab beneath. Tape these together as this will strengthen the tab. In the center, draw a black dot. Do the same on the map. This will be where you will cut a tiny slit just long enough to push the brass closure through the equinox template and through the map. Once the equinox template has been connected to the map, turn it so then the edges line up with the line that goes from midnight to noon. Locate the equator and follow it around until you reach 6 or morning. Place the dot on the equator, making sure that it sits evenly over the string. Voila! You have finished your map. May many joyful discoveries surprise you during scripture study.